What's happening? What's happening? All right. Let's see here. All right. So we're here on greencardguys.tv. Happy to answer any of your questions. Welcome to the show. All right. So as you drop in questions at the bottom of your chat box there, or you want to share your experience, welcome to the community here. A lot of people are stuck. A lot of people have done something wrong, or maybe they hired the wrong person, unfortunately. Um, if you are new to the show, I do my best to answer your questions. Please, especially y'all on TikTok, you don't have to copy and paste your questions. In fact, it's a bit distracting and it slows me down from it going up and down the screen. So I know on YouTube I have the topic as the ultimate guide to B1, B2. This won't really be the ultimate guide per se. That's more of a webinar. So I apologize. I'm going to talk to my marketing team about that. But I do have some answers about B1. I see one from Ben. Okay, so for Ben, let's see here. What I usually do is I have a topic of the day, then I go into answering questions. So, a topic of the day, at least about B1, B2. All right, which is kind of similar. Sounds like it's kind of similar to Ben's question on YouTube. Here's the deal: you definitely don't want to wait until the last second to know what status you want to try to transfer to or change status to. Okay, because you don't want to run into a situation that even if you filed the new application that you want to get to the new status, okay, it takes time for the USCIS to approve that application. You would think that the number one world superpower can get their shit together to hypothetically, maybe have it approved in 1 week time, 2 weeks. Sounds reasonable for number one world superpower, but no, that's not how it is. It could take 5 months. Some people that usually hire us for this kind of situation, they enter US with ESTA or B1, B2. We can file application. We have filed application for like L1 visa or H1B, um, other non-immigrant visa like O1, P1. They get filed, and those applications allow for premium processing, but you gotta pay a little more money. Okay, gotta pay more money. I think it's 20. It's around 2,500 to 2,800. I can't remember exactly. There's two different types, depending on the scenario. Okay, so but they don't allow that for family-based applications. If you're wondering, and you might not need to because for some people's cases, for marriage-based or family-based, more so marriage-based, they tend to get approved in 2023 and 2024 trend is about 3 to 5 months. But that cannot be a promise to you. That's not a guarantee. And also, it's not just any marriage case. That's for someone who the immigrant spouse lives in America and eligible for adjustment of status. Not everyone is eligible to apply the 485 application. I'd like to take a moment to thank you for being here on greencardguys.tv. I'm your host, John Ting. I practice immigration law in the United States to help you get your legal status, to secure your legal status in America so you can live and work here, despite what all the conservative folks think, including my homies, my friends. I have some conservative friends. It tends to happen. I'm in Texas. By the way, if you're interested in our services and you're wondering where the heck we are, where is our office? We do have a physical office. We're in Houston, Texas. Even though if you're watching hockey and basketball, I'm formerly from Dallas. Go Dallas Mavericks and go Dallas Stars. If you're a fan of Houston, sorry, y'all got work to do. All right, now, so another tip about people who are considering about to apply for B1, B2, visitor visa, tourist visa, whatever you want to call it, or you're here on ESTA visa, you might even want to talk to an attorney before you enter America. Okay, not necessarily that you have to hire one or talk to one before you apply for a visitor visa, but if you have an inkling of idea, especially if you are a student age, you're about to go to university or transfer, or you have a company, you're an entrepreneur, you want to expand your company to America, and you want to make sure you're like, is this possible? Some people think it's difficult to start a company in America. It's actually not that difficult. It's quite easy to start one, but it's about your legal status in America. Okay. Because state law in Texas is really easy to start a company, but there's a lot to know. Okay. So even to hire an accountant, things like that, knowing when to hire certain professionals to help you do the right thing. You definitely don't want to be in a situation where you owe taxes to the IRS or the state or even locally. All right, so yeah, we highly encourage you to talk to an immigration attorney before you even enter USA on that ESTA or B1 B2. And practically speaking, it's because you might not have your shit together either, right? So for us to help you, you don't want to wait till last minute. Even if it's the last week, most attorneys I know would not accept your case or even offer you a quote if you say something like your visa is expiring in like tomorrow kind of deal. So um so in immigration it's not always needs to be a negative thing. Whereas like you need a lawyer for like the court situation or after you get denied or something. I really recommend not my preference for you is of course to hire an attorney. If you're going to hire one anyway, and you have like 50% of you is thinking, oh well, I don't know what to do, then that's already an idea for you to talk to a lawyer at least. Okay. And here's the deal. There's a lot of people like me on social media sharing information. But at the end of the day, you got to check the Google business profile, the reviews. Okay. Fortunately, we have over 300 five-star reviews. Okay. On Google between two locations. But our main location is in Houston, Texas. All right. Now, able to answer some questions. Let me answer Ben specifically here. On YouTube, your cousin has B1, B2 inside America right now and wants to switch to F1 visa. Is it possible? He's been in the US before as an international student in 2011 on F1. So that part is okay, but it depends maybe what degree that your cousin is seeking and also the timing of it. Depending how much time your cousin has, may have to depart the United States before their B1, B2 expires because, right now is May 28th. I don't know how the schools operate in terms of timing on if they have like rolling admissions, if they have that for the summertime. So it might not even, for some of y'all, which college or university may not matter to you as much because some of y'all just want to be in the US. Okay, I get that part. But you want to do some research, at least have your top 5 colleges. Okay, and make sure the timing of the application, the admission process for the college itself, very important. And so if Ben's cousin has experience with this, but for anyone that has not considered student visa before F1 in America, no, um, the professional you want to talk to or find online. So when you call in to the international student office, okay, international student office is different than the admissions office, but somehow you want to get in contact, maybe email, have a meeting, even if it's virtual. I don't know what they offer right now with the DSO, designated school official. Okay. That is the formal name related to ICE. And ICE is the one that handles the issuing out the I-20 form. Okay. I-20 is similar to like I-94, which is online, that tells you how much time you're authorized or the date and time that and year that you're authorized to be in America. Okay. So, by the way, if you have the I-20 and let's say it's good valid for 2 years or 3 years, whatnot, 4 years, but you drop out of school and you stop paying tuition, hot tip, it doesn't actually mean you can stay here that amount of time. You got to maintain the terms and conditions of your F1 status, which means you got to pay up to the school. Okay. So hopefully it helps Ben to some extent without me knowing more information. Hopefully that points your cousin in the right direction. All right, let me switch over to different platforms here. Bro, I don't know what's going on with Instagram, but if y'all know what to do with Instagram to get this working, because I hit live on Instagram and it's been like what 17 minutes, and it's still saying, "Hang on, they're gonna tell more people to join," but it doesn't seem to be telling people. Maybe it's just frozen. I don't know. But this thing, YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok is working. Okay. Welcome to the show. My name is John Ting. If you haven't joined the show before, the first question I believe on TikTok is Alaya or Aaliyah. How long is a 601A waiver taking? So that is about 3 to 3.5 years, unfortunately. I would say, based on what I've checked before the past month, it's about 36 months, 33 to 36 months for 601A. And the crazy thing is, before the pandemic, it took about 8 months for our own cases. Now it's about 33 minimum, unfortunately. So if you are interested to file a mandamus lawsuit in this situation for a waiver 601A, you definitely need to wait at least 33 to 36 months before we file a lawsuit. So hopefully you're on the right track. Your case is nearing that time. Um, I get it. You're going to be frustrated, especially if you're not at 33, 36 months. Um, and contacting your congressman for any case that's delayed, it's not going to help. They'll respond to you eventually. And usually, when people tell us before they end up authorizing us to help them with a mandamus lawsuit, the congressperson office, the assistant, they usually say, "Yeah, your case is still pending." That's what USCIS or State Department told us, and that's the thing you already knew. Elected officials' office is not going to actually push the case along to the next step, unfortunately. All right, let me see here. Diana or Diane T. Your 765 work permit was returned to USCIS. How long would they resend it? They might not. Okay. Yikes. So check how your mailbox is. Did you move, or do you know why it was returned? Um, you definitely want to submit a USCIS inquiry to USCIS ASAP online, uscis.gov. Click on tools and resources. And I believe there's an option for mail not received or something like that, or card not received. And let them know the situation. Don't just say like you didn't receive it, because if you do that, you don't get share more information. They're just going to simply respond to you more or less, most likely just say, well, you did receive it. It just got bounced back, or whatever the reason is, right? So you got to give more information for them. So like maybe you're changing your address, and you believe you changed it before it was actually delivered, but unfortunately, again, America's number one world superpower, but don't expect us to USCIS or State Department to have their shit together, okay? Or maybe they do, but they don't want to show you they got it together, okay? So unfortunately, even if you did change your address online with USCIS ahead of time before the actual delivery of the card, it doesn't. It may not necessarily trigger the change until later. So I know it's ridiculous. All right, let's see here. Welcome to the show, folks. Greetings, greetings. I am, if you're wondering if I have not answered your question, I most likely did not, because I'm trying to go in order and switch to each platform. Hello, Wayori. You have a question? Happy to point you in the right direction. All right, Coda, good morning to you. Your sister got an error on her U.S. citizenship certificate on the country. Oh, goodness sakes. Come on, USCIS. They put Nigeria instead of Niger. And I don't even know if I said Niger, pronounced it correctly. Oh, great. I apologize. I need to Google Translate to get the pronunciation correct. She wants to travel to Africa. Can she apply the passport even if the certificate has a mistake? Oh boy. So I would definitely, let me see if I can pull it up. You're on YouTube. So let me see if I can go to tools and resources here for you. USCIS.gov. And I'll share my screen. Okay, one of the things I like to do, especially, by the way, if you're on TikTok, you're welcome to stay on there. But if you want me to answer your question quicker, get on the YouTube. Go to greencardguys.tv, because I don't have as many people follow on there, or I mean, at least comment on there. Let's see. Okay, so this is the regular page on here. Let me click on the main page. You go to tools, then e-request is what they call it. Okay, it's going to take a moment. So for Coda's question here, what to do here? Okay, so you did receive it. You did receive it. There's an error, so you want to click on type service request typographical error. Okay, so go complete the form here. It's pretty short, but you do need all the information here when you complete the form here. Okay, so here down below is where you can type in what type of error it is. So here would be sort of citizenship certificate. Look at that. They actually have it fairly robust here on share my screen on YouTube and Facebook. They have a drop down menu. Unfortunately, on YouTube, it doesn't look like. Okay, let me scroll down more. Yeah, for some reason on YouTube and Facebook, I'm clicking the drop down menu, but it won't show it to you on the screen for some reason. So anyway, it is there. You can try that out. Okay. Let me see here. I'm gonna switch platforms here. Hey, Believer Scrum 1982. How long does Viable case processing time? Usually 36 months. So if you're eligible to apply for 485 application as well, if your sponsor, your former sponsor, your spouse is a U.S. citizen, you can also file 485 because you might as well have it processing at the same time. Let's see here. What's up? What's up? Hope you all had a great weekend. Does it feel like a Monday? I mean, does it feel like a Tuesday? Did I pass yours? See this, Nani? So a lot of y'all think, especially on TikTok, a lot of y'all think I passed you up. I didn't. I did not. I'm just switching between platforms. Okay. And even if I did, I'm sorry. The deal is here, folks. I really try my best to go in order. So if you want your question answered, you really have to be like first on the show when I join. And I try to go live at 12 p.m. every day, Monday through Friday. Of course, yesterday was a holiday. My family won't let me join live on a holiday. But the other way, if you're interested in our services, you can go on the respective platform, go to the about page or the profile page. Below my picture is the link. Okay, just answer a couple questions. You get redirected to pay this amount. Okay, it's less than a cup of coffee at Starbucks. I know it's crazy. You probably might have to put your own syrup in the coffee, but it's to reserve a spot because there's been a couple bad apples that don't show up, and so kind of eats at my team's core because I really try to help y'all get your legal status. Okay, so a lot of people want to schedule meetings, so it helps make it helps y'all show up apparently because you use that amount of money for your Starbucks if you're really addicted to coffee. All right, so here's the deal. Then you're gonna get redirected to schedule a meeting. Okay, we make it as easy as possible. There's a lot of law firms, including my own homies, my colleagues and friends. They make it really difficult to schedule a meeting, and I'm just like, that doesn't make sense to me. Um, let's see here. But if you are interested in just talking with us to get advice, but not in our services, that's cool too. Okay, we do offer a traditional consultation where you got to pay 3 digits. I can't say it out loud because this platform that does this action will ban me. They've done it for 5 minutes before. All right, someone with the name Dot on TikTok. Your interview has been requested according to live agent for 485. Should you believe this? A timeline? Well, you copy and pasted the same question multiple times. I need more facts, really. And now I won't be able to answer your question because I need more facts. When was your case filed? But to believe what they say on the agent wouldn't really matter if you believe them or not. I mean, I wouldn't. It's up to you, but you want to get you don't want to be misled. But even if you do believe them, then just be ready. Just have your evidence, updated evidence, be ready. Like if you had a joint bank account, which I hope you did, if it's a marriage case, then have the most recent bank statements ready to go, like print it off. So it's just less stressful for you. Okay. Because most of the time when the interview is scheduled, you have about 2 weeks' time. Now, whenever we sue the government, and your case is taking that long, let's say it's adjustment of status and it's been 15 to 18 months, then if it's in Texas, I have connections with, I don't know, I have relationships, professional relationships with U.S. attorneys in Texas to where I can ask them, hey, what's going on with this case? But I can't do that with every case in a sense. Like if it hasn't met our internal waiting time, essentially. So if you just filed like 2 months ago, I'm not even gonna offer you a quote. We'll email you a free guide so you have more information. Okay. So with that being said, it depends on timing. Okay. Whoever's the period as a username on TikTok, depends on time when you file your case is when it's more believable. Okay. But I also have had interviews scheduled, um, 3 to 5 months time frame, or even 12 months later. So yeah, that kind of give you an idea, hopefully. All right, let me switch back over to, let's see, let me switch over here. I need to send a team member a question as well. Oh, there it is. Okay, let's see here. So I need to do better about multitasking when I'm messaging my team. Okay, let's see. Coda. Coda. Okay, Coda's other question on YouTube here. You have a brother who wants to apply for fiance visa for his girlfriend. Does the process take long? Yeah, hell yeah. It takes longer than a marriage case after marriage. So, Coda, you really got to talk to your bro and make sure that he knows that this person, this girlfriend, is the right fit, right? Because aside from the government fee, is the timing. You got to make sure you guys are the right, or they're the right fit. Not that you have to verify for your brother, although it could be helpful depending on age. But yeah, it's just a long process. It's a much longer process. Fiance visa, if anyone's wondering, is a longer process than getting married first and going through the immigrant visa pathway. So that's why, hot tip here for anyone's listening right now. I'm not going to repeat this. Okay. This is why it's a good idea to be on a live show as long as I'm on the live, which is usually 30 minutes to an hour. Um, if you have not married, okay, Coda. So Coda's brother, for example, if you have not married yet, and your brother's significant other um, does not have a visitor visa yet or ESTA, you may want to recommend that person apply. Even if, I have a lot of clients who have overstayed. As a licensed attorney, I cannot tell you to overstay your visa. I don't recommend it unless you're married to a U.S. citizen, but you have to make sure that you comply with the law. Okay? There is a waiver, an automatic waiver if you're married to a U.S. citizen. So that it waives unlawful presence and the failure to maintain non-immigrant status. However, do not come here to America hoping to get married to a U.S. citizen, and then you come into the situation overstaying your visa. I don't recommend that. Okay? So, this is a very crucial information. I'm not here to advocate one way or the other right now, just sharing information that we happen to have a lot of clients who have overstayed a visa, whether it's 3 months ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. It's just a matter of time to find the right fit. Okay. So you just got to make sure. So if you're married to a resident holder, a resident of America, it's not the same thing. It does not leave the unlawful presence until that person becomes a citizen. So anyway, that's the hot tip of today. Moving on to the next question here. Good morning, good afternoon to you. Hey, Kelly on Instagram. By the way, if you have a question all good. No hard feelings. Go straight to the punch. Just go ahead straight to the question. Because by the time I am finally able to scroll down and whatnot, I might miss it. So especially on TikTok, it's a little bit more difficult. I need to make okay, good. I do have water next to me. All right, David Emery. On TikTok, if someone is here on a teacher exchange visa from Spain, okay, J1, do they need to return to Spain for 2 years? It depends. So, David, if you know someone, or maybe it's for yourself or your significant other, you gotta check the passport. The passport is the first place to check if it has a stamp that says 212. I believe it's 212E. Can't remember the exact letter right now, but it would be the restriction of 2 year restriction having to go back. However, if you have the J1 restriction where you have to go back to your country for 2 years, you might be eligible for a waiver. So that requires definitely a discussion with an attorney. Okay, we recommend that because some of y'all, even if we email the free guy, you might think, oh yeah, it's no problem, but then you don't hire an attorney and you go through a lot of problems. Yeah, 2 years might pass, and you're like, what the hell? I wish I knew this. Hmm. I think I need to create a series of videos like that. What the hell? I should have known this. That'd be good. Let me let me message that to my marketing team real quick. All right, that'd be good. That'd be good for y'all. Because I feel like most of the show is more like that. All right, Leo on YouTube. Interview has been requested according to live agent. Wait, did I just answer your question on? I think I just did. Um, Nagio, 123. Greetings to you. How long does it take to obtain a green card after asylum approval? Well, number one, congrats on the asylee status that you got approved for that. Is it 1 year after submitting the application? Same question for travel documents. So I'm not sure about the timing processing time of travel documents when you're an asylee. However, when you're for the 485 application, I believe. Let me see if I can check that out real quick. But they did change it in the sense like when you can apply. It used to be, I believe, 2 years ago was the old policy where you had for asylees, meaning your asylum application got approved, that you have to wait 1 year before applying. But they had that rule because there's a 1 year residence requirement after becoming an asylee. But because I think USCIS recognized that they take a hell of a long time for the 485 to be approved, that they might as well let people who are asylees to just file as soon as they become asylee. So with that being said, okay, there is a drop-down menu. Unfortunately, it's depending on the city. So let me just pick Houston since that's where I'm at right now. Okay, they do have one for all field offices. And let me see if I can share my screen on YouTube at least. Share screen, window, bam, here we go. Okay, so I've selected 485. I'm on the USCIS case processing times webpage. On the government webpage, selected 45 application. Form category is based on refugee admission more than 1 year ago. And field office, they have it, all field offices. For a second, it had like all the locations, but now it just made it to one in general. I clicked on get processing time in blue here, and it has 80% of cases are completed within 30 months. Now, I know that is a little disheartening, pretty frustrating to see 30 months here for 485 based on asylee status, but please know your case could be approved a little bit sooner, but I do know that with asylum based on asylee status, it does tend to take at least 2 years, unfortunately. It's ridiculous. All right. Thank you so much for your question. I will try my best to get it all done soon. Okay. Appreciate y'all's trust. I see the next question is why? Okay. Green card by marriage still waiving interviews. Yes, they're still waiving interviews. Not for everyone. I would suspect that's going to be less cases or interviews being waived in 2024, um, because most of the backlog, from what I understand, is abroad. Okay, but the first step petition is in the United States with USCIS. But if you're eligible for AOS in America, adjustment status, I would think that by the towards the end of the year, they would probably, not saying I wish this upon anyone, but don't be scared if you have an interview. It's going to be okay. We're here to help you. Francesca, you asked how much is consultation. If consider them two categories. If you're interested in our services, we don't want to charge you a traditional consultation fee. Only this amount. Okay, less than a cup of coffee at Starbucks. Okay, not sponsored by Starbucks to say that, but because essentially, if you're interested in our services, you need to know our fees, right? So we're not going to charge you a traditional fee to know that. But if you know you don't want an attorney, but you do want to be pointed in the right direction a bit more than I can here on live show, we do have a traditional fee that's 3 digits. Okay, I can't say it verbally. Unfortunately, I don't want to get banned by the one that does this action. So go to our website, please, greencardguys.com. I'll go to our profile page later on. So it's a good time, actually, if you don't mind, to go ahead and give it a follow. We really appreciate it. And by the way, you'll get notification when I go live, especially at night when everyone's asleep with my family. All right, let's switch over here. Christian Clothing on Insta. I think you're the next question. Okay, on here. Your 765 131 was approved. Congrats. Under VAWA, when will they approve your 45? So I think that was similar to another question on Instagram. It takes usually 36 months minimum for VAWA 45. If you get it sooner, folks, like I might give you a timeline that's like longer. That's just based on our case processing and my colleagues. But that's if you get sooner, that's great. Let me know. Let the community know. We greatly appreciate it. Kelly, you have not filed your petition with USCIS, not yet. You're currently married to a U.S. citizen. Last week, you had an argument. She called USCIS to report that you married her for GC. Will this affect your application? If you eventually file for AOS, okay. She apologized and wants to file for you now. Will it affect your application later on? Yes, I see your question. Um, well, Kelly, you might have to get on the same page. So here's the thing, folks. I've had people tell our team that, oh, I'm just getting married with a friend. Now, I'm not saying that is your situation, Kelly, but essentially, look, for us, we want to make sure that your marriage is legit to the best of our ability. But for you, if you file your own, even if you're with us or another attorney, another law firm, you got to make sure y'all on the same page emotionally also. Okay, emotionally. I know it sounds weird, but you just don't want to be like 6 months, 1 year down the line, and then you weren't as lucky to have your interview waived. Yes, it can be problematic. I've heard of things like that. Okay, so um, I don't know how do I say this politely. If you got a firecracker in your household, then you might want to reconsider things, okay? Because it is just stressful. We just have a lot of clients that have gone through it, and it's already been like 2 or 3 years into the situation. So depending on the scenario, like Kelly, I think you're trying to ask, should you do this or that? You might need to be ready to pivot, okay? And yeah, we're happy to help in those kind of situations as well. But she called USCIS. I don't know how that. I've never worked for USCIS in this situation. I don't know how they notate it into your file if you don't have a file or application filed to USCIS. I don't know if it's if they call USCIS but not ICE, then you're in better shape in this situation since you don't have an application on file with USCIS. Okay, I hope that helps a little bit because I would, again, I'm just speculating, but if I were a USCIS officer and someone tells me, hey, I'm gonna get married to so and so, fake marriage, whatever. I'm like, okay, as they always do on USCIS hotline. Ma'am, sir, what is your case number? Receipt number? You don't have a receipt number? Click. Like, I mean, like, that's just how it is. It's the same thing online. But if they called ICE, maybe I should call ICE myself to see how the process is. But I just, with USCIS, they're pretty. So I guess what I'm trying to say, your spouse may have called USCIS, but got the runaround because had to go through the bot. So, so that's what I mean. I mean, even in that situation, your spouse freaked you out reasonably. But if your spouse, whatever the gender is, okay, gender neutral here, going through immigration is a stressful process. So as much peace of mind we can provide y'all or any other attorney, law firm, man, your spouse might give you a lot of slack, like a lot of hard time. So you want to make sure you know what you're getting yourself into. So wish you the best, Kelly. Hopefully that wasn't recorded on your end. Your marriage bona fide, that's good. She's a firecracker, yeah. Okay, now I see your other questions. All right, I'll get back to you. I gotta go to the next question. Um, mm, 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 mm. Nat NAT on TikTok. Can your mom fly from Texas to Hawaii with just her Mexican passport? If your mom still has non-immigrant visa, valid I-94, then yes. But if you are here or your mom is in the United States, overstay their visa or without a visa, I personally don't recommend it. Maybe other immigration attorneys will say, "Oh, no problem. Yeah, Hawaii's one of the 50 states." But you just never know on a flight because lawyers are risk adverse generally. You never know when the flight that is supposed to go to Hawaii somehow diverts because of a plane issue. Hey, there are been plane issues, unfortunately. So if it has to divert to another country that's not America, that can be problematic. So, because you never know when finally the flight comes back to America, let's say it is Hawaii, and they force everyone to go through customs because the plane came from a different country. I don't want to be the attorney to say, yeah, sure, no problem. So you gotta you gotta think about all those kind of scenarios. So that's thank you for the question. It's one of those scenarios like, can you Google search that? Maybe, maybe not, but maybe Googling search something, the AI summary or ChatGPT, whatever AI tool, might not be as comprehensive as you want. So that's why, folks, even if you already have a green card or citizenship, go ahead and give it a follow on your respective platform, okay? You never know when you might have that immigration related question. We're happy to point you in the right direction. Bell, you have a bachelor degree. Congratulations going for your master's. Even more congrats on that. More power to you. Can you have residency other than sponsor? So when you mean sponsor, do you mean like through a company? Um, so there's a time for y'all to know. I think there's some TikTokers or whatever YouTubers that talk about their college experience, maybe what you should consider when you're at university, paying all that money, foreign international tuition. You want to meet people because that's your opportunity to really get to know other professionals. Okay, because more or less they're your golden ticket to get sponsored. All right, because if you're just relying on Indeed.com and those kind of websites, LinkedIn only, it's going to be more difficult. So use this opportunity, Bell, and anyone that has F1 or about to have F1, network, meet people. Okay, even if it's someone college age too, because you never know when maybe they start a company and then maybe they could sponsor you. You never know. Daniel asked on YouTube, why is it my company phone number not working? What number did you use? Daniel, please let me know. You're on YouTube. Let me know which one, and I'll ask my team. By the way, if you're on YouTube and Facebook, you see this is backwards, but I figured for those on TikTok, Instagram, you can see it correctly. So I'm switching it back and forth. Let's see. I appreciate you letting me know, Daniel. But which number did you call? I can let you know if it's correct or not. Because it did happen, I think 2 years ago. A couple of the phone numbers did not work, and we thought we just had a lot of missed calls. So let's see here. Let me switch over to Anna on YouTube. because Anna probably asked on both platforms. How long is the wait after renewing green card? Your uncle's been waiting for it. Has been a year and a half. Yeah. So Anna, thank you for switching over here real quick to ask this question. So a lot of people have commented here, shared their experience as it's been taking them at least 24 months. It is a ridiculous situation. So I don't have the best answer for you, but the short answer, at least short term needs, if your uncle needs to travel, you can call or schedule an InfoPass appointment to get the 551 stamp. Okay. Now, they generally only allow that stamp if your uncle, whoever has the resident card that's expired, that has travel plans. So, not necessarily that you have to have it like paid for. I don't think anyone's ever asked that specific of flight itinerary confirmation, but it's worked for us. Our clients would just say that, oh, like so and so's needing to travel here, so have some kind of plan. Now, I'm not telling you to lie, but at least you're not under oath, okay? As far as I know, they don't ask you to raise your right hand. They just need to make it easy for folks. So, Anna, hopefully your uncle has a I-90 receipt notice that said like 48 months extension. Um, but generally, we don't file the I-90 a lawsuit on I-90 unless it's been at least 2 years. Unfortunately, it's ridiculous. It's just one of those applications that could just be rubber stamped. Like at that point, it has nothing to do about how you got sponsored originally, or at least it shouldn't. All right, back to Instagram here. Trying to keep track of time here. Kelly, your marriage is bona fide. You have all the evidence. She is a firecracker, to be honest. And yeah, so not saying that you can't get this done marriage wise or the immigration case with a firecracker, but just, better expectations because, or I'm just trying to help manage your expectations in terms of government process. Because again, like, yeah, average case right now is 3 to 5 months. And most of the time is the interview has been waived, but it might not happen for you. Okay. So can't assume that. So what should you do? Should you just divorce and file VAWA or move on? Um, the thing is, if you already know you don't have a strong relationship and you have recommended, hey, therapy, and your spouse is not open to therapy, I think it's just just based on my experience with divorce cases from a long time ago. We don't handle divorces anymore. I mean, on a very limited basis for our clients, but communication and emotional, like it seems to be not just financial. I think a lot of people assume financial or children, but just communication and being on the same page. So if you let me put it this way, folks, it's not just for Kelly on this one platform, but if you don't feel comfortable sharing certain things with your spouse, and if you have an immigration case on file, or you don't, but you're married to a U.S. citizen or resident, you might want to consider VAWA. Give it a thought. At least ask an immigration attorney. Not saying just because you can't talk to each other is a reason to file VAWA. I'm just saying like this is a consideration to have that conversation with an attorney because you don't need physical abuse to file for VAWA, Violence Against Women Act. Emotional abuse can count, cheating can count. It's worked for our clients. There's some attorneys that get a little hoopla because like, oh, that attorney says this. Oh man, that's just kind of wild. I'm not trying to encourage anyone to say go straight apply for it. You do need to speak with the immigration attorney to make sure. Like we can't just look at it and say, oh yeah, that's guaranteed. But we can tell you based on case experience that your situation has worked. So that's what a strategy session is for. Okay. Alrighty. Um, hopefully that helps, Kelly. Okay, on back to let's see. back to YouTube here real quick. A lot of questions, a lot of great questions. Thank you so much for your trust, man. I'm trying to be a robot, but it's difficult to answer. Thank you so much. Let's see, Christina on YouTube. You're about to send in your paperwork for advanced parole AP. Will getting married before you leave, if approved, raise any red flags? Okay, so yeah, that's an important question because you want to know timing wise, especially if you have a venue and all that vendors. Um, there's as far as I know, there's no red flag. Maybe you have DACA or TPS. Is that why you're doing advanced parole, Christina? But yeah, that's not necessarily a red flag about that. It's just more about having the just fortunately in that situation, more about just try like when you finally get it approved, hopefully. Which by the way, if it's based on DACA, Christina, it's very specific on why you can be qualified or eligible for advanced parole. So just keep in mind if you have not looked at the instructions on the 131. All right, let's see here. Oh, I just happened to see your question on TikTok also. To do. Oh, he's period on TikTok. Thanks for letting others know I'm in Houston. Shock, Scala on TikTok. You have a question. Your K1 visa is admin processing. What should you do? Unfortunately, I cannot help with K1 or admin processing when a person has just had an interview until about minimum 6 months. Okay. Our team is happy to chat with you about it, happy to email you a free guide about mandamus lawsuit, but generally it's minimum 6 months. You might get your visa, hopefully, before the 6 month period. So it's not like a you must wait 6 month type of deal, but we don't file lawsuits on 221G or admin processing until at least 6 months minimum. So for now, unless you've been emailed or contacted by the embassy or consulate asking for to fill out the DS 5535 form or to provide ABC type of document, more documents, which sometimes they don't. They might not even ask you for anything. And so you're like wondering like what the hell's going on. Unfortunately, as a default, the consulates, embassies, your case is under background check. And you would think that workflow wise, wouldn't they just do that before the interview because they spent government time on that? But apparently, checking the background check takes more government resources. I've read an affidavit because I'm in a network with other attorneys who file lawsuits. I've read an affidavit by Department of State employee, and they shared that they actually subcontractor company to do the background check. Look, folks, I can pay a company here on online website and get the FBI background check in 24 hours, the results. Okay. That is faster than the FBI themselves. So that not tell you a little something that there could be a faster way, but the government does not want to make it fast for you. Think about that. Now, although I am personally not going to vote for Trump, any political party, when it comes to this situation, they want to slow you down. Okay. They're not going to make it faster for you. They're not going to expend more resources to make it faster. I know it may seem a little strange. Number one world superpower. I don't know. Start asking questions. Daniel. All right, let's see. Oh boy. Okay, so a lot of great questions. If I'm not able to answer you, I apologize. Please schedule a meeting if you're interested in our services. If you're not interested in our services, but you do want a meeting with us, we do charge a 3-digit fee for that. And let's see here. I can answer one more question. I'm just gonna just randomly choose here. Okay, there we go. This platform. Okay, KLKL on TikTok. You got approved for I-130 in November 2022, and it's at the Department of State since 2023 December. So right now is about to be June, okay? About to be June 2024. So in this situation, so we have a audience member here on TikTok. You may be in a similar situation. If your case has moved on, your petition approved, and the immigrant family member, spouse, family member, relative is outside America, okay? A quick workflow here with the government. You get an email from National Visa Center, which is like a sub agency of Department of State. Get an email from them. We call attorneys, we call it welcome email because you get a new case number, new invoice number. Those numbers are important to enter the government portal, ceac.state.gov, to upload certain documents, okay, and pay a fee. All right, it's about $445 if it's for one person. All right, then you submit everything they need. They review it, maybe a couple weeks. They'll email you and say your case is documentarily complete. That is your sign, aka they won't tell you. Well, they might tell you this that your case is ready for, or not ready, but it's in line for an interview. Okay, so average across the country, America, the world. I mean, regardless of embassy or consulate specific, it's average minimum 6 months. Okay. If you get it sooner, wonderful. But just the post pandemic, even though we're several years out of it, there's still average 500,000 cases still in backlog. Okay. Not just marriage cases, by the way. Alrighty. With that being said, I gotta head to a team meeting. We just changed it so we can accommodate all team members, their work schedule. So we got a team member team meeting right now. Thanks so much. I have to head off now, but go and give it a follow. I'm gonna try to go live tomorrow. I should be able to, and really appreciate y'all. But if you're interested in services, you need one, need an attorney, or you have a question, go right there or the about page on your respective platform. All right, y'all have a wonderful day and take care. Peace. Why did I make a sound? Peace.